Hey guys, it's RG the Awesome here, back for another coach interview. This time I am joined by the one and only KingdraPlaysGames.
Hey guys, how's it going? KingdraPlaysGames here.
Alright, so this is going to be just like my last interview where I'm going to be asking him 10 questions. This way you can kind of get to know him better. Um, so, to start off, what is your team name and is there any significance in it?
Well, as some of you may know, my team name is the Kansas City Kingdras, and mainly I didn't have too much motivation. I just sort of wanted something that could sound good with the name Kingdras, since Kingdra is, of course, my mascot. So I just sort of scrolled through some team names and kind of tried to get a feel for what would sound good with Kingdra's place at the end of it. So eventually I just came around to the Kansas City Royals, and I just decided to make that sort of the model, and then I changed that to be the Kansas City Kingdras.
Don't worry, I did a similar thing. I wanted a team name that went with Metagross, so that's how I came up with my team name.
All right.
Do you have any experience in the league format?
Yes. In fact, as you also would know, I previously was in the PDL, which was organized by RG the Awesome. It eventually sort of died out because we didn't have enough commitment, but that was fun. I also had some previous experience in another league called the OBA, in which for season one I was actually champion of, so that was pretty cool. A lot of fun getting to do things with a lot of new faces and get to learn other people's playstyles.
Wow, champion. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah, I don't know if I could do that again, though. That might just be a one-time thing.
How long have you been on YouTube?
Well, I'd say as for watching videos on YouTube, I've probably been, watching it for about 5 years or so, maybe like 4. But for actually uploading videos and stuff, I actually probably started about 3 years ago on a separate channel that I don't have now. But for this channel, I'd say I started about 2 years ago. Uh, in I think it was 2 years ago because it was around November 2013 that I started this channel. So that would be about 2 years ago.
All right. How long have you been playing Pokemon?
All right, this may actually come as a surprise, but I've only been playing Pokemon for about 4 years, and I actually do have a story about why I actually got into Pokemon. In case everyone wants to hear it. So basically, what happened was a little bit over 4 years ago, before I played Pokemon, I used to think it was sort of a nerdy game, a game that I would never personally get into, and I just figured it wasn't my type of game. Well, actually, when my grandpa purchased a van, he was cleaning it out and he discovered a DS game with the picture scratched off of it, and he handed it to me to play. So I decided to put it in my DS and see what the game was. It turned out that game actually happened to be Pokemon Diamond. After seeing the game, I sort of, thought, well, this is Pokemon, I'm not going to try it. But my grandpa advised me to try it out, even if it didn't look fun. And then now I actually am a huge Pokemon fan, so it's really interesting how that worked out.
How long have you been playing competitively?
Now, that would be about 6 months, because before that, I had just been watching more Wi-Fi battles, but 6 months ago is when I actually purchased Power Saves and got into the actual competitive scene.
Would you mind describing your battle style?
Okay, so basically, a lot of the time I like to head towards bulk. Now, sometimes, of course, I will try to get a good balance, but if I had to choose one single play style, I would choose bulk because I feel like that's just what is more in my comfort zone for battling. Although, of course, there are some situations where, in a draft league especially, you're going to need to have some powerful threats that can handle the other team's walls that can outstall your own. So that's why I like to get a mix of Pokemon in league formats. But if I were just to do a regular online Wi-Fi battle in like a specific tier, I'd probably head for mainly bulk for the battle.
Looking at the impressive competitors this year, is there anyone you're looking forward to battling?
To be honest, actually, most of the people in the league I do not know, except for JSpecs, who invited me to join his league, and a couple of the analysts, such as yourself and Espelancer. But personally, most of the other coaches I don't know. So I'm sort of just excited for all my league matches. A lot of tough competition, so it'll make for a lot of good matches. I know I'll have to think through what Pokemon I want to bring, and that's what sort of excites me about this league.
Uh, is there anyone you're not looking forward to battling?
I mean, once again, I still don't have much experience in this. Like, I don't know much of these people, so like I said, I'm just hyped to face everyone. There's probably not one person off the top of my head I can think of right now that I don't want to face because I don't know their teams yet, as we have not drafted. So there's no team as of right now that I am afraid to face now.
Speaking of the draft, how confident are you heading into it?
Oh, I'm very confident for the beginning since I am the first pick. I get to basically choose whichever first Pokemon I want, and that's really nice, but it comes at a price because after I pick my first Pokemon, I've got to wait for a whole another cycle of everyone picking their first Pokemon and then everyone else picking their second Pokemon. So it's basically a double-edged sword in that sense because I can get whichever first Pokemon I want, and then of course I can get a double pick after it comes back. But at the same time, most of the really good Pokemon I'll want later on will be taken after everyone gets their first and second round picks. So I'd say I'm still confident though that I can build a team because with the double picks I can sort of think of what goes together instead of having to try to figure out what will still be left. So I'm definitely confident for this draft, and I'm excited to do it next weekend. So yeah.
Um, what is your favorite mon in the draft format?
Oh, that would be a tough one. I have used a lot of different mons over different leagues, and a lot of them are really interesting to use. Um, it's weird though because you learn so many new good Pokemon, it just doesn't make sense. What really surprised me the most, and a Pokemon I really liked using, was in Season 1 of the OBA, which I was a champion of course. I got to try out Gastrodon for the first time. And I was really surprised at how well it did for bulk, and I relied on it for a lot of my matches, and it came through. So I'd say I actually really like Gastrodon. It's not the best, but in my personal experience, it really did surprise me. Probably the best, as a lot of people would say, are a lot of the base 100 mons, such as Mew, Manaphy, and Jirachi, just because they're so versatile, though. So, yeah.
Who are you predicting to be the Pokemon Masters Cup Season 1 champion?
Oh, that's a tough one. There's a lot of fierce competition, and once again, like I said, it's really hard to tell when you can't see the person's team yet. I do know, however, like the only person I know in here, other than myself, of course, that I know is J-Specs. And from what I saw in the PDL, he could probably do well, but like I said, I can't really predict well if I don't know most of these people's play styles. I just do know there's going to be a lot of fierce competition, and it's going to be a really hard race for the cup. So I'm just hoping that maybe I could at least do pretty well. Maybe make it to the first round of playoffs or something. I don't know.
Do you have any predictions for this season?
Well, I can say that for this season, I think it's going to be a little bit more of a test for myself because I've never actually done a draft league where it's a point-based system. All the draft leagues I've done prior to this one have been 3 from OU, 3 from UU, 3 from RU, and 3 from NU and below. It hasn't really been that complicated, so I'm definitely excited to try out something new. Don't know how well I'll do. I'm hoping I can at least win half of my matches. That's basically my goal for myself. And of course, my next goal is to at least make it to playoffs. Although I can't guarantee that because as you mentioned, there is a lot of fierce competition this season. So I'm just hoping I can get by with a couple wins.
Well, hey, good luck on your first time drafting with the point system. Um, Hopefully, you'll be able to do a good job, and we'll see you do really well in the PMC. But, anyways, you guys stay awesome. I know we will, and I will see you next time.